Look into my eyeballs. Read it. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bailey and I like to read a little bit. I have been seeing so many people do tier rankings and I've tried to do one before, but it did not turn out great because technology does not like me when it needs to. So I'm going to attempt it again. This is going to be a tier ranking of popular Booktok books. Just so y'all know, I will never tell someone not to read a book, okay? So take everything that I say with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion and my opinion alone, okay? And who really cares about my opinion? A lot of people, everybody does. No. I just thought this would be fun and I want to do a tier ranking and I really, really hope that it works out this time. So we will see. Let's pray that I don't have a little minty bee, okay? I don't want to do that. And let me also say, we're not going based off of the ratings I rated these when I rated them because like 3 years ago rating books, Bailey, we don't know her, okay? Because she was just giving out 5 stars like candy to books that did not deserve 5 stars in current Bailey's opinion. That's a me problem, so just keep that in mind, okay? This is accurate for now. So, the first tier is going to be obsessed. I love them, no criticism, 5-star and above. And by above, I mean my God tier, okay? And then the second tier is worth the hype. These are gonna be the ones that may have been like right next to a 5-star, okay? In between 4 and 5-star, I loved them, even 3.5 star. I think about them still. That's what these are at, okay? And then we have, I liked it, and would still recommend it. This is gonna be like 3-star area. Like they were a little forgettable, okay? And then the fourth tier is going to be don't get the hype. These are gonna be the ones that I personally did not like. I don't understand what was so good about them or why they were so hyped. Yeah. And then we've got, I'm scared to read this. These are going to be the ones that I have not read yet, but I'm terrified, okay? And there are some. I'm sure you have one that just came to your mind. I know I did one in particular that is on my shelf. And then I have the ones that are on my TBR that I do plan to read. So, which I'm still probably going to read the ones I'm scared of. I've just got to really work up to it, you know, like grow a set of ovaries and just do it. I believe I have 43 books, so it may take a minute. So strap in, buckle in, sit down, or you sat? Okay, let's go. First up is Flawless by Elsie Silver. We're starting off strong. I didn't realize I did that. Okay, so I did not realize that I'm not a cowboy romance girly until this series. Did I hate it? No. But did I like it? No. Okay, I like the second book, but as a whole, which is how we're doing this, I just picked the first book of every series. As a whole, not my favorite. So this one is going to go to did not get the hype. I'm sorry. Okay. Wow, I did this 2 in a row. Okay, Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. I didn't get the hype of this one either. I have to put it in that column because I really thought it was going to be like more emotionally, but it wasn't. I felt like it was just, I was bored. Yeah, let's just move that in. Okay. Okay, next up we've got Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I loved this book. I read this one recently. It was 5 stars for me. I did not expect it to be as like emotionally pulling as it was. And so good. The humor was good. It's just, it was everything, okay? It was everything. And so I'm going to put this at worth the hype. Yes, worth the hype because it was a 5-star book for me. It just wasn't in my God tier, you know. So, okay. Now we've got Happy Place by Emily Henry. I loved this book, okay? I did. It is my favorite Emily Henry book, and yeah, it's my favorite Emily Henry book. I love it. Funny Story almost came in first, but it is in second. I don't know. I think about Funny Story more than I think about Happy Place, but I feel like Happy Place impacted me more emotionally than Funny Story did. It was so good. I love a good second chance, you know? So we are going to put it at worth the hype. Okay, The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. I thought I was gonna love this. I thought I was gonna love this. Everybody was loving this. I was a little bored during it. I felt like there were a lot of parts that lagged, and I wanted like a heavier hitting fantasy in the moment. And that could be a me problem. It probably is, because a lot of people love it. The bone magic was cool. That premise of it was cool. It was interesting. I was just bored. Maybe it is a me problem. So the Bone Shard Daughter is going to go on, I liked it and would still recommend it, because I would. Okay, Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. I love this series. Okay, Aaron Warner is such a good boyfriend. All right, him and Draco Malfoy and Stone Danvers are probably, oh, and Silas from The Poisoner, are probably the only 4 MMCs with blonde hair that I will love with my entire heart forever. Okay, that I can remember at this moment. Don't come for me. So Shatter Me is going to go at worth the hype. Devil's Night by Penelope Douglas. Look. I said we're gonna do this as a whole, right? So I loved the entire, I loved the whole series. What are you saying, Bailey? Are you second guessing yourself? You are. Okay, yeah, I'm second guessing myself. That is going to go with worth the hype, okay? It's not God tier. It's not God tier. I don't think about it every day. I do love Damon Torrance, and he is my top book boyfriends, one of them, but he's not number 1, so I'm gonna have to put it at worth the hype. How many are gonna go at worth the hype? Maybe I'm still a serial 5-star rater. The more you know. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I really enjoyed this when I read it, and I was obsessed with the TV show when it came out. They did it so well, but I don't think about it all the time. And I think it was kind of hard to get into, if I remember correctly, because it's told in a different format. It's in like interview format. So I think that's gonna go in, I liked it and would still recommend it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay. Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. God tier. Love. Obsessed with it, okay? I will never shut up about Magnolia Parks. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I simply don't care. Okay, it's amazing. The emotion that it pulled out of me was actually insane. I related to Daisy on so many levels, and Magnolia in some parts. Honestly, I'm just not super rich, so yeah. But anyways, and Julian is like my #1 top book boyfriend, and he's from that series, and I'm obsessed with him. Anyways, now we have Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. This one is currently taking Booktok. Yeah, Booktok. This one is currently taking Booktok by storm, fantasy Booktok, okay? And I'm actually currently reading it. I have 8% left. I'm filming this video instead of finishing this book, and it is killing me inside. But it is okay. I will get to finish it after this. I am obsessing. I know that this is going to go in my God tier, but I think this is going to go in my God tier. Okay, I think it is. I'm not quite sure yet, because you can't really know until the entire series is out yet. So I'm gonna put it under worth the hype, just for that reason. Also, I'm doing this on my iPad, so you may see an ad or something. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna try to do this right, but I'm really just trying not to screw it up, okay? Then we got 5 Broken Blades by Mike Horland. All right, I thought this one was going to be worth the hype. I really did, but I was so disappointed by it, except for the last 30% of the book. The last 30% of the book was really, really good, but everything leading up to that was just so slow. And I even tried like different formats of the book. Like I did the physical, and then I did the audio, and the audiobook had different narrators and everything, but there was just so much going on. Like, but not so much going on because it was a little like it lagged, but like there were so many narrators. So I was trying to get like different people's POVs, right? But not a lot was happening in the book itself. So I was a little bored. So I'm going to say, just because the last, is this gonna work? Just because the last 30% or so was really good, I'm going to move it to I liked it and would recommend it, because it was good. And I will be reading can I speak? I will be reading the second book. So, okay, next we have Divine Rivals. Now, did I like Divine Rivals? Yes. Did I DNF Ruthless Vows? Yes. I'm sorry. Okay, I was bored. I was so bored in Ruthless Vows. I don't know. I don't know what it was. So we're gonna put this at because I DNF'd Ruthless Vows, we're going to put it at didn't get the hype. Now, here we go. For my dark romance girlies, please don't come for me. Please don't come for me. The Ritual by Chantal Tessier. I didn't like this book. I didn't like this book. I had to push through. The epilogue really just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. They're talking about sending their kids to this college. I don't know. No, that's your child. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird when I read about, I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that. Oh, okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. The Ritual was not for me. So, didn't get the hype on that one. Okay. Why do I keep putting these right next to each other? Hooked by Emily McIntyre. Don't come for me. I feel like I went into this thinking that it was something it was not. Like, it was very predictable. I've read it before. I feel like the whole premise of the story, that kind of thing. So I was bored, but it was entertaining a little bit, you know? But I still would recommend it for like a beginner dark romance person. So I'm gonna put it at I liked it and would still recommend it, just because I would still recommend it to people for what it is. Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Ah, la la la. Okay, I liked Icebreaker. Wasn't great, it was good, but I loved Wildfire. So I'm just gonna put this one and I liked it and would still recommend it. Have I read all of these? Did I only put books I've read on here? Why did I? Okay. I just deleted the on the TBR row because I think we can do without it and I'm running out of room. So yeah, because I think I'm scared to read this. That could mean that I'm reading it unless I tell you I'm not. So just go with it, okay? It's chaos around here. That's just how it is. This doesn't have to be perfect. It's a silly little YouTube. I hope y'all are okay with that. Anyways, okay, so Butcher and Blackbird by Brynn Weaver. I really enjoyed this. I liked Leather and Luck. It was a 4-star for me, but I love Lachlan. So I don't know, but I'm just saying, you give me 2 serial killers in a rom-com, that is genius. I don't know why nobody had done it before, but Brynn Weaver did it so well, and I'm so glad she did. This book is like so unique and the only one of its kind that I've come across, and I loved it. So Butcher and Blackbird is so worth the hype. It is so worth the hype. Okay, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I loved this book. I did. I really did. Ashley Poston is a master at contemporary worlds, like our world, but sprinkling in just a bit of magic in it. And it is so beautiful. And she really, that girl been through it, okay? Because she talks about a lot of grief and she knows what she's talking about because it makes me feel every single time. All right. And for that reason, 7-Year Slip is worth the hype. Okay. Hawk by Jessie Hall. I read this and I was like, and then I was like, well, and then I was like, and then I was like, okay. So, I mean, that's the roller coaster of emotions it took me on. So I liked it and I would still recommend it. That is the best way I can describe that book. Don't be mad at me for that. Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I love this series. Okay. I ate it up, just like the Italian cooking in this book. Okay. It was so good to me and I love Wrath. And I still haven't read Envy's book, I believe is the other one. Throne of the Fallen. I think that's what that one is called. But I want to read it. I just haven't read it yet. I have a lot of books to read. Okay. But I really liked this one. And I don't understand why it gets a lot of hate. I mean, I know there's a lot of recipe stuff in it, but like that was part of who the main character is. So I'm going to put it under I liked it and I would still recommend it. You should still read it. Oh, here we go. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I'm scared to read this book. I'm so terrified that I'm not going to like it. Okay, I've seen such mixed reviews. A lot of people love it, but then a lot of people hate it. And I'm scared I'm gonna be one of the ones that hate it, and I don't wanna disappoint y'all. So I'm gonna put that, and I'm scared to read it. The Words by Ashley Jade. I liked this. I know a lot of people don't. That's like the case with a lot of Booktok books, I feel like. A lot of people hate it, or a lot of people love it, and there's no in between. I loved it. I love an angsty book, and this guy was an ass, but I loved him for it. So we are going to put it under, ooh, I liked it and still recommend it. Rockstar Romances get me every time. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I'm a punk rock girly. I don't know. Okay, One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. God tier. This and Two Twisted Crowns, God tier. I don't care what you say. If you're disagreeing, nope. Nope, I'm not listening to it. My ears are plugged. I am obsessed with this duology. It is so incredibly well written. Dark. It's like a gothic fantasy book, okay? And it's got found family, and it's got comedy, and like little bits of comedy sprinkled in throughout. I thought it was comedy. The Nightmare was hilarious to me, okay? I love this duology, and I will never shut up about it. So, for that reason, oh no. For that reason, it is going obsessed, I love, no criticism whatsoever. Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. I feel like if you're starting out in Why Choose, it's okay. Like, that's what I did. This was one of my first dark romance books, and I was like, ooh. But now I'm like, ooh, it wasn't that good. So I'm gonna put it under now, didn't get the hype. Okay, thank you. And I know you see this, the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. Jesus Christ. I think I'm dying. There's something in my throat. Okay, Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. Top tier, top 10 books of all time, favorites, like amazing, just so well written, so bingeable, fabulous, fabulous. The only book that has ever quite captured me the way that it did, amazing. I feel like this is a book with a lot of heavy hitting topics that a lot of people who don't typically read dark romance can read because it's that freaking good. And if you haven't read it, it's about a serial and a liver who, I'm not on TikTok, I'm on YouTube, I can say it. It's about a serial killer that ends up dating the head FBI agent who's trying to find her. I love a woman villain. I love it, but she's not the villain. She's not the villain. I don't care what anybody says. So, obsessed, love, no criticism. Okay, this is the Off-Campus series by L. Kennedy. I still haven't read this. I'm scared to read it because I'm afraid I'm not gonna like it. That seems to be a theme. Yeah. I'm scared I'm not gonna like it because a lot of people love it, and I need it to be like a little bit emotional. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Or I've got to be in the mood for just a fun little book. But yeah. So, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I didn't get the hype for this. I DNF'd this book like twice. I felt like it's for smart people. I was not in a smart people mood when I read this book. And that is my excuse for that. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. I was just feeling very dumb those 2 times I started it, I guess. Belladonna by Adeline Grace. What was that noise? Was that my neck? No, that couldn't have been my neck. Okay. Belladonna by Adeline Grace is absolutely worth the hype, okay? Worth the hype. And so is the second one, and I cannot wait for Wisteria this year because, are you kidding me? The MMC is death. Hello. Credence by Penelope Douglas. Okay. This is a little dicey. When I read this, loved it because it got me into Taboo. Now, red flags. I still love Taboo, so it's not my favorite. Obviously, Kill Switch is way better. The entire Devil's Night series is way better. This one is just not my favorite. So I'm going to put it under I liked it and would still recommend it. Then you have the Selection series by Kiera Cass. Is this series like, oh my God, amazing? Like, well-written, well-rounded, everything? No. Was I so entertained that I read all of the books in one weekend? Yes. Yes, I was. It was like trashy reality TV and I loved it. Okay. So I'm going to put it under I liked it and would still recommend it just because of that reason. From Blood and Ash. Okay, here's the thing. I liked the first 3 books in this series, but after the first 3 books, I decided to DNF the series because it just got so repetitive. I really don't like going back in a series and reading the same book but in a different person's POV. That is not fun for me. I get bored. So, because you already know what's going to happen, you know what I mean? So, for that reason, I'm going to put it under didn't get the hype because I DNF the series. I feel like that's only fair. Cruel Prince. Hello? My brain just went blank. Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I got to meet Holly Black and she is so cool. Sorry, I just had to say that. Anyways, Cruel Prince was so good that this is another series that I read in one entire weekend and I loved it. Is it perfect? No. But is it worth the hype? Yes. Only if it is marketed correctly, because I feel like a lot of people do not market this book correctly. It is not a fantasy romance, okay? Okay, hold on. It is not a romantic fantasy. Romantic fantasy is like fantasy with heavy romance. Like the plot does not overshadow the romance overshadows the plot. Fantasy romance is whenever the fantasy, the plot, is heavier than the romance. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I could be saying that wrong, but you know what I'm saying. So this is very plot heavy, and I loved it. So I think it is worth the hype. There you go. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. This is a recent read of mine, and my first like really true thriller, I think, and I so enjoyed it. I listened to it on audio and it was so good. It was so good. I did like Ward D more, but I do think that Frida is worth the hype for, she's like, I heard someone say that she is like the Coho of thriller, and I totally get that because she's so easy, it's so fast paced, very quick, you know, you get it. So I'm gonna put it at worth the hype for that reason. Okay, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I loved this book. Is it God tier for me? No. Yeah, it's worth the hype. It's worth the hype. I had to think about that one. That one is worth the hype. Okay, That Sick Love by Jessie Hall. Did I like it when I was reading it? Because I was just like, the entire time. Yeah. Would I now rate this over a 3-star? I liked it, and I would probably still recommend it. That's what it is. I would like it. I liked it, and I would probably still recommend it. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go with that. I'm running out of room. Okay, The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I really enjoyed this when I read it, but looking back on it, I really don't think about it. Like, it was okay, but I felt like, I don't know, my brain hurt while I was trying to read it. Does that make sense? So I'm going to put it under didn't get the hype. Oh no, I did a thing. Okay, I'm putting it under did not get the hype. Touch of Darkness. This is another from Blood and Ash situation. A Touch of Darkness was good when it started. And then same thing happened. I was like, what is going on? You know, I got bored. I didn't really like it. The main character, Persephone, was whiny. And I love Greek mythology. I have a whole sleeve dedicated to it, okay? I love it. But this just was not for me. So I'm going to put it under didn't get the hype. Now, it happened one summer. When I read it, I liked it. Now, no. Bailey, what were you thinking? You know, like, no. So I didn't get the hype. It's just, I mean, it's just, I feel like so many books are just like carbon copies of others. Does that make sense? I don't know. Okay, Verity by Colleen Hoover. Is Verity worth the hype? This is her best book. This is her best book, so I have to include it in this. Yes. Verity is worth the hype. Oh, but are there better books? No, I'm gonna just put it here. I'm gonna just put it there. Okay, next we have Funny Story by Emily Henry. I love this book. I loved it. Okay, Happy Place is my favorite, like I said, of hers, but Funny Story was really, really good, so we're gonna put it under worth the hype. It was just so funny, and it had way more emotion than I thought it was going to, just like Just for the Summer did. It was just so good, and I laughed so much. Okay, then we've got Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. I think this is worth the hype. I giggled and kicked my feet, and I gasped at the end of this book. I loved it. So we are going to put it at worth the hype. Here we go. Some really popular ones for the last one. Why did I do this to myself? Okay. ACOTAR. ACOTAR is not my favorite SJM series. It's not in my God tier. It wasn't perfect to me because here's a controversial opinion. A Court of Silver Flames was not my favorite book. I did not like that very much. Okay. I mean, I liked it. I ate it up for sure. But is Nesta my favorite? No. Did I think she was redeemed? No. I think she's on her way to it. But I'm so sorry. You're a bully. Okay. So yeah. Please don't come for me. I like Nesta. I do. I just don't love her. Okay. And I don't know. Throne of Glass is just so much better in my opinion. So I'm going to put it under worth the hype. ACOTAR is worth the hype. It's not perfect, but it is worth the hype. So I'm gonna put it under that. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Did I like this book when okay, here's the thing about Fourth Wing. I really liked this when I read it. Do I think about it? No. No, I don't. So I don't think it was a 5-star for me, even though I rated it in the moment 5 stars. I don't think it was. And I've had the second book on my shelf and I don't plan on reading it because I'm just like, do I care enough to continue the series? No, I don't. We're gonna put it under I liked it and still recommend it. There we go. There we go. Okay, last one. We have Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. Is this worth the hype? I don't know, is it? You tell me. It's the last one. I think that it is, but I also think that Does It Hurt by her is a better book. My opinion. So I'm gonna put it at worth the hype. Yeah. There we go. Wow, that's a lot of books. There we go. That is the final. Wow. Okay, so what do y'all think about that? Do y'all agree with me? I don't know. I might have some controversial opinions in there. This is kind of fun. I like tier ranking, but it also stresses me out because, like, can you change it back? Do y'all agree with me? Do you disagree? What do you think? Do you like the tier ranking videos? Also, I wanted to ask y'all, what kind of content do you want to see from me? Keep in mind, I do have a full-time job. I'm not just a book girly. I wish I was just a book girly. That is the dream. One day I will be able to read for a living. But for now, I do have a 9-to-5, okay? Gotta pay my bills, gotta pay my mortgage. And so reading vlogs aren't as accessible to me because I do read a little bit at work. So whenever, like at lunch breaks and stuff like that, and I can't really film at work. So keep that in mind as far as vlogs go. But still, if you want vlogs, let me know. I mean, like, it's just gonna take some time to do one. I gotta figure it out. So let me know what kind of content y'all wanna see from me because I wanna make fun content and make content that I want, but I also wanna listen to y'all's opinions and see what y'all think I should do. And see if there's anything that I'm just not thinking of that y'all really wanna see, you know? Yeah. You get me. You get me. Also, I mentioned Quicksilver in the ranking. If you have not read Quicksilver, take this as your sign, okay? Look into my eyes. Look into my eyeballs. Read it. If you are a fantasy girly, read it. I'm telling you, it is so freaking good. And the fact that this author, this was like her first book going into fantasy, please, in my opinion, it could be better than ACOTAR. I said it. I said it. Do with that what you will. I hope that y'all are having a great month. I hope that you're getting all of the reading done and that you aren't too mad at me about that ranking. So sorry. And I love you guys and I will see y'all next week.